So guys, I've just watched The Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 7. I think it's Chapter 23, and it's called The Spies. Now, I don't think that name's quite relevant to what it should actually be because of what happens. But anyways, it's going to be a spoiler review today, and all my thoughts. It's going to be off the cuff. I do have some notes on it, but it's going to be more off the cuff and my thoughts on it, and just running down what sort of happened. So I repeat, guys, it's going to be a spoiler review. So click away if you've not already watched it, or even better, guys, like the video, go watch The Mandalorian, come back, watch the rest of the video, and then comment your thoughts down below at the end. But yeah, so what starts off firstly is there's a big meeting. Moff Gideon comes in. Obvious, it's going to be Moff Gideon. It's Project Necromancing something. I probably have. Hopefully, I've not said an inappropriate word there, but that's what it is. There's a project, and we don't know if it's cloning or something related to that. All the Imperials that are still around from the Empire they're chilling there in their holograms. And Moff Gideon's walking about, and he's scuffling with a couple of them. He's like, no, I'm in charge here, basically. He's saying one's thinking he's more in charge, but he's talking about Grand Admiral Thrawn, which is amazing. So his introduction might come in the last episode. I doubt it, but you never know. I think it might be a cliffhanger on the last episode, episode 8, which is next week, next Wednesday, but we don't know, obviously. That might be a little cliffhanger for Ahsoka coming later this year in November time, I think. But that is awesome. So it's called the Shadow Council. All these surviving Imperials from obviously the New Republic shut down most of the Empire, but there's still a couple of Imperials just chilling in other sort of places, which is awesome. Then we skip forward a little bit. So then there's the tribes. The two tribes come together. The Mandalorian tribes. So we have our two main leaders of the tribes. Obviously, Bo-Katan has tried to cement them together, but we have Paz Vizsla is sort of the main guy of one tribe, or you could say Din Djarin. Paz Vizsla and Din Djarin. And then Axe Wolves other side. So what Bo-Katan's trying to do is cement them together. So they come together. Then Grief Karga has a gift for the Mandalorian, and it's amazing. Now I did think we would see a fixed up version of not IG-88. I always muck that up. IG-11 from the first season of the Mandalorian. Obviously he got busted up, and we saw him on his statue previously in the Mandalorian series of season 3, but he was taken off and they were trying to tinker with it. Then he got a malware in him, and he resorted back to his original assassin droid phase. But now he is back and he's improved. Now I was quite surprised when he was fixed up and he had the little guy inside him. I always forget his name. Really cute, they're guys. And he walks by Baby Yoda and bad baby, bad baby, crazy, which was really funny. And then what happens is what is a genius way to introduce Baby Yoda. He doesn't talk obviously, but they put him inside the IG unit, which is now called IG-12, and Baby Yoda has two commands. Obviously, he can say yes and no, which are two little amazing little things there. I can't believe they've put him. Obviously, he's a bit more mobile now. He can move around. He's out of his pod. Obviously, he still has his force sensitive ways, but he's not. He's a bit more mobile, and he's got bigger firepower. So this is amazing to see. That's awesome. And obviously, so IG, they all come together. Grief Karga sees them off. They all fly away to Mandalore to go retake Mandalore. They send a boarding party down to Mandalore, and basically what happens there is, so it's mainly the main characters which are part of the boarding party. We've got Pre Vizsla, Axe Wolves, we've got the Armorer, we've got Din Djarin, we've got I was about to say Baby Yoda, Grogu, and then obviously he's in his suit of IG-12, and then we have lots of other people, obviously Bo-Katan and some of the other Mandalorians are part of the two tribes. They go away. They bump into a skiff of previously surviving Mandalorians. And I'm surprised we didn't see them. Obviously, it works out with the story, but I'm surprised we didn't see them previously when Mando went down to check if it was breathable, like the oxygen. But it's a skiff and they're battle stricken. They're like one of the last surviving Mandalorians on the planet after the Empire like blew to smithereens. So that's amazing to see. The Mandalorian survivors. This amazing part with Pre Vizsla and Axe Wolves are like fighting. We were always going to see this. It was like a chess match, but obviously a Star Wars chess match, and they were fighting away. And what happens is they get up and they start like brawling, and then what happens is Grogu comes in with his IG unit. It was like, and he just constantly presses the no button. He's like, no, 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 stop fighting, guys. No, it's not happening. I thought that was one of the most wholesome, cute, epic moments ever. And I don't know how Lego's going to try to incorporate an IG unit with Grogu, but they're going to have to try their best to in a minifigure form. It's because it's going to be amazing to see. What happens from there is they break it up, it's fine, and then this like massive beast comes along. We don't know if it's a Zillo beast. It's the same sort of scale as like a Zillo beast. This massive beast comes along, flips the skiff over, and then from there the Mandalorians have to like jump off, and then they sort of find the forge or the entrance to the old cities down below. They go in there. Out of nowhere, these brand new Imperial troops and jet troopers like come out from nowhere, and they're covered in not Beskar alloy, which isn't as strong as pure Beskar, but it's still pretty strong. And from there, they have to fight them off, and they fly off to them, and then they get defeated, the first like wave of them, and they sort of bring them to a secret like spy outpost. And I think that's why it's called Spies, the title of this chapter. So in the outpost, then what happens is we see a reveal of Moff Gideon, and how he is in a awesome suit. It's all Mandalorian based. I think his is probably pure Beskar at this point. And what happens is a guard door comes down and traps the rest of the Mandalorians, and Din Djarin gets captured, gets taken away. Moff Gideon says several things. Pre Vizsla sort of like sacrifices himself when after Mando gets taken away, because they hoist up the guard again, and then they fight away. But just before they get slaughtered, Bo-Katan comes on with her Darksaber, opens up the hole in the wall with the Darksaber, and then, if I've been saying Pre Vizsla for the entire time, I mean Paz Vizsla. That's what I mean, Paz Vizsla. Probably a descendant of Pre Vizsla, but Paz Vizsla is defending them, and he says go, even though he probably could have saved himself, but he didn't. He has his minigun. He's trying to shoot all these troopers. Manages to kill a whole wave of troopers, which I'm surprised about. Like, I thought he was going to sacrifice himself like he did, but then I remember at the very start of the episode, when Gideon was talking to the rest of the Shadow Council, what happened was he was saying he needed new troopers, he needed new bombers, he needed new TIE interceptors, which we'll see in a massive battle in episode 8, I expect. He mentions right at the end 3 Praetorian guards. All I saw them was The Last Jedi, which is really interesting that they're kicking about at this time. So they come along with their weapons and just beat the living crap out of Paz Vizsla, and yeah, he's dead. He's died. He was a really awesome character, and obviously, hopefully, his son takes up the mantle of Paz Vizsla, and I hope it's not a recreation or ominence to what happened with when Jango Fett got his head sliced off by Windu in Attack of the Clones, and Boba comes along, has his helmet. I was like, oh no. I could somehow see them doing an ominence to that, and then his son just picks up and he's like, oh, takes his helmet, and obviously for his own. So his development as a character would be interesting. But yeah, that comes to the end, and that is the end. So it was a sort of cliffhanger because the Mandalorians got away, but they didn't, sort of, because the main one, Paz Vizsla, got killed, obviously. So I don't know, after his execution, is that going to bring the Mandalorians more together, or is Axe Wolves going to try to take a bit more control of the other tribes in the surroundings? But this is my sort of predictions now for what's going to happen in the season finale of season 3 of The Mandalorian, episode 8. Now, it's going to basically be a massive brawl battle of all the Mandalorian clans versus Moff Gideon again. I don't know. I have a feeling what's going to happen is going to come down to the wire here, and obviously they're going to try and save Din Djarin, and I think what's going to happen, I think either Bo-Katan or possibly Grogu is going to end up killing Moff Gideon. That's what I think is going to happen, but we're going to have to wait and see. And then from his death, there's going to be a cliffhanger of possibly the same sort of back of the head or first look at the face of Grand Admiral Thrawn, which is going to be amazing. It's going to blow so many people's minds. Obviously, if you like Rebels, it's going to be in tune to you, but that's going to be insane. And this episode was great. It's probably been the best episode, in my opinion, of the season so far. And I can't wait to see what they do with episode 8. But anyways, guys, leave your comments and thoughts below. Anything I got wrong or stuff I forgot to say, put in the comments down below as well. And one last thing I do want to say is I did forget to mention, because we didn't actually realise how Moff Gideon got a hold of the Darksaber previously, but we now know how he got a hold of the Darksaber, and it's because Bo-Katan had to made a deal with him to stop bombing and spare some of the Mandalorian people when she gave herself up to Moff Gideon in the end, but he double-crossed her, took the Darksaber and just killed them anyways. So yeah, but yeah, leave your comments and thoughts down below, anything got wrong, etc. Like, subscribe, hit that post notification bell to keep up to date with all the content coming to your face. And yeah, peace out, have a nice rest of your day, and I'll see you later on the SithGeek YouTube channel. Bye guys.